Hi everyone, Petrik here. Today's video, of course, will be about SFF Spotlight, and this is episode number 108. And I think it has been about 3 weeks since my last SFF Spotlight episode, so yeah, let's get this started. If you are new here, this is a series of videos where I spotlight new book news, new cover reveal, new special edition, and also new Kickstarter campaign in the adult science fiction and fantasy genre. And today I have about 13 or 14 topics to spotlight. The first one, this is a big one. This is the cover reveal for The Wolves of War by John Gwynne. This is the first book in the Wolfheart Chronicles duology, and the cover art is done by Tomasz Ryger, designed by Panepinto. This book will be out in November 2026. And of course, I have read every book by John Gwynne. I pretty much love every one of them. I think almost all of them are actually 5 stars reading experience for me. And I'm hoping that Wolves of War will be the same as well. That cover art looks badass. And then the second one, this is about a new cover art or a new cover redesign for Whispers of the Storm and also Rising Gale by ZB Steele. And yeah, this is the first 2 books in the Songs of the Damned series. I believe Rising Gale will be out either this month or next month, but then the new cover art is done by Jeff Brown. And yeah, I'm really happy with the new cover art. I think this is a huge upgrade over the previous cover art, and I'm glad I got to partake a little bit with my feedback on the cover art of this series. And yeah, I'm really happy for ZB Steele. I really love the novella, and I cannot wait to dive deeper into the series. And then after that, we have a new announcement about the final book in the Bladeborn saga by TCH. So I haven't read anything in the Bladeborn saga yet. The Bladeborn saga, and the cover art is done by Polar Engine. Then this is the last Renewal, book number 8, and it is also the final book in the series. And I think this one, I have heard several great things about this series, but I don't think I have seen too many people talk about it in the bookish community, like BookTube and also BookTok. I haven't seen too many reviews talking about these books, but based on Goodreads reviews, it seems like this is suitable for those of us who love The Bound and the Broken by Ryan Cahill and also The Echo Saga by Philip C. Quenchel. And I love those 2 series, so I think it's only a matter of time before I dive into the Bladeborn saga as well. But congratulations to TCH for the completion of the final book in this epic fantasy series. These books, they are huge. Almost all of them are actually 1,000 pages long. So if you have read this series, let me know what you think about it. Is it worth diving into it? And then finally, on a matter of book announcement, we have a release date for The Heretics by Joe Abercrombie. This is of course the sequel to The Devils, or the second book in the Devils trilogy. I think it is slated to be a trilogy, but I could be wrong about that. But yeah, Joe Abercrombie has mentioned we will see familiar faces from the Devils returning in the Heretics, but there will be new faces as well, new characters. I think the entire series is designed to work like the standalone series in the First Law world. So like the Great Levelers trilogy. So everything is connected, but at the same time, you can dive into any of those books without reading the previous books. At least that's what I'm getting from the announcement last year or during the Devils announcement. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one. I love Joe Abercrombie's books. I think he's one of the best authors of all time, and I love the Devils as well. It was just super fun, not as deep and as impactful as the First Law series, but it's just fun and immensely entertaining to read for me. And I hope the Heretics will be the same as well, and hopefully even better, of course. But yeah, the release date for this one is the 11th of May 2027. So it goes without saying that this is one of my most anticipated books of the next year. But speaking of Joe Abercrombie, now let's talk about new edition or new special edition. First, we have the announcement from Orbit Books that the original hardcover of the First Law trilogy is getting a republication with the same design. So this is essentially similar to what the Broken Binding did for their first ever fantasy subscription, which was of course the First Law trilogy with the same design, with the same original design. But this one doesn't come with the new spray edges. But if you are someone who are in search of this new, about the old US hardcover edition, this is a republication, and I think this is your chance. And I always have a soft spot for this cover art. Somehow I think they were really striking, and to this day it still holds up pretty well. And somehow there is this sense of nostalgia that I get just from seeing this cover art. Always. I don't know why. It just reminds me of the first time I dived into reading epic fantasy seriously for the first time. That was almost 10 years ago. So yeah, time really flies. But speaking of cover art being redesigned, well, Orbit Books just announced their deluxe hardcover edition for the Licanius trilogy by James Islington. So yeah, the Licanius trilogy, I know that many people dive and also became a fan of James Islington through the Hierarchy series or the Will of the Many. And yeah, that's very understandable, but I think you are missing out if you haven't tried the Licanius trilogy. It is incredible. I love the series, and I think Caden from the Licanius trilogy is one of the best protagonists, one of the most well-written protagonists of all time. And now we are getting this new hardcover edition, but this one features the same cover art done by Dominik Saponaro, but redesigned and retweaked to fit the deluxe hardcover. There is this classic epic fantasy vibe we get from the cover art, and I know I will be getting myself a copy of this hardcover edition for sure. I love the Licanius trilogy. I pretty much love everything that James Islington has ever written. But still, on the matter of special edition, we have something super cool here, and this is for the Dragonbone chair by Tad Williams. And yeah, of course, this is another one where I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn trilogy. And this is a new cover art being done for the deluxe hardcover edition. The cover art is illustrated by Ivan Belikov, who some of you might know from doing Samantha Shannon's books and also Shannon Chakraborty's books on the Amina Al-Sirafi books. And yeah, I think this cover art is just absolutely badass. It features the same scene as the one being done by Grim Oak Press on their edition of the Dragonbone chair, so Simon versus Ikjarjuk, and I think it's badass. I have no other words about this cover. It is epic, it's super cool, and yeah, the spray edges is similar to the Broken Binding. It features one of the three swords being put on the edges, and yeah, I think it's super cool. I really want to get this edition as well. I'm a fan of Dragonbone chair. After all, that would make this the third or maybe the fourth edition of the Dragonbone chair that I own. But if you are someone who prefers the original cover art done by Michael Whelan, well, you're in luck, because that cover art is still available to find in this edition as well. It will be available as the end paper. And I don't think I've heard any confirmation that the second or the third book will be redone in the same fashion, but I'm hoping there will be more news about this really soon. Moving on to the next one, this is kind of related to the Dragonbone chair because this book inspired so many iconic epic fantasy series, one of them being A Song of Ice and Fire. So this is about a Game of Thrones Folio Society edition signed by George Martin himself, and this will be a limited edition. It is incredibly expensive though. I think this one will be about £2,000 if I'm not mistaken, but this is kind of similar, I believe. I don't think there will be a lot of changes in the content and also the number of illustrations inside. It will be similar to their Folio Society edition that you can still buy on their website, illustrated by Jonathan Burton. But if you are, well, I know there are many die-hard fans of A Song of Ice and Fire, myself included, and I think many people will still want to get the limited edition even at this price. We'll see whether this sold out quickly or not. I have a feeling that it will, even though it is priced at £2,000. The last special edition of the Spotlight is just a reminder, as promised, because some of you have asked me to remind you when this goes live. Well, the Lonesome Dove by Lady McMurtry, the Broken Binding edition that I got to work on as a director, well, it is available to purchase now. It is available to pre-order now. Yeah, it is now, I think, on general sale. So if you want to get a copy of this one, well, it is possible. And yeah, the cover art is done by John Anthony Di Giovanni, and everything else is done by Kevin Kill. I had a great time working on this amazing book, and I myself cannot wait to own a copy of this one. Moving on to Kickstarter campaign, which is the last segment in today's SFF Spotlight videos. I have 4 Kickstarter campaign I want to spotlight today. The first Kickstarter campaign is about the second book in the Card Mage series by Benedict Petrik. So I have the first book here with me, but the name of the series is probably Slumdog Deck Builder, probably. And yeah, this is Card Mage. I believe this is the first book, and this is the hardcover of the first novel in the series. And I don't think this one comes with acid-free paper or soon binding. The purpose of this Kickstarter campaign is to actually fund the publication of the hardcover with interior color art like this one. And yeah, all of them are done by Denis Kornev and they look beautiful. The interior illustrations looks gorgeous. And I haven't read this series yet. I know that Benedict Petrik is mostly well known for his work on his dark fairy tale fantasy. And this one is a different kind of series. And this is another of the interior artwork done by Denis Kornev. So the Kickstarter campaign for the second book is available now. And this is also the cover art of the second book. So yeah, make sure to check out the Kickstarter campaign in the description down below. And then moving on to the next one. This is about the third volume or the third omnibus in the Frith Chronicles by Shami Stovall. The Kickstarter campaign for this one is live now. It has been fully funded. And of course, just like the first two omnibus, it is successful. And yeah, just like the first two omnibus in the series, this one too will feature a monster bestiary from the entire series on the back of the book, and they are done in full color. They are gorgeous. I think Shami Stovall really tried to put everything that she can into the publication of this special edition, and I can really tell from what I got in the first two omnibus. I actually am blessed enough to own a copy of the first two omnibus, and I cannot wait to own the third one. And there will be a total of 4 because each omnibus will contain 2 books in the series. Yeah, it is a total of 8 books, the series. And moving on to the next Kickstarter campaign, this is about The Path and the Way by Michael S. Jackson. Again, cover art by John Anthony Di Giovanni, which is the original cover art, but this one comes with the gilded edge, and also end paper by Ricky Ho and map by Jack Shepard. I think it is a beautiful edition. I haven't read this book yet, even though I own the series for a long time now. But yeah, I'm glad this one has been successful as well. And if you are interested in getting yourself a copy of this epic fantasy special edition, well, check out the Kickstarter campaign. And finally, the last Kickstarter campaign I want to spotlight today, this is about the Ultimate Edition of The Price of Power by Michel. And yeah, this one again features new cover art done by Jeff Brown and plenty of new interior artwork. This has been incredibly successful as well, and I'm really happy for Michel about this. And yeah, just like Whispers of the Storm and also Rising Gale, I'd like to give a bit of feedback about the cover art of this edition, and I think it turns out so epic. And yeah, looking forward to owning a copy of The Price of Power in this format. I think I own 2 copies of The Price of Power now. This will make it at the 3rd edition. And I really have to continue reading this series. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of today's SFF Spotlight video. I think that's about 14 or 15 topics. And just like always, do let me know what you think about everything that I spotlighted in the comment section down below. And I will be back with the next episode of SFF Spotlight in 2 or 3 weeks from now. It depends on how many very good news that I want to spotlight in each episode. And yeah, that's pretty much it from me today. As always, thank you so much for watching and thank you for your support. Bye bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.